everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina and I make videos over here about perfectionism, self-love, and this video is all about motherhood and my recent birth of my baby. He's 9 months now, but as you'll see, the title of this video is 3 to 6 month products. I'm a little bit behind. I'm gonna make this one and the 6 to 9 month video pretty quickly after this. I just have a lot to catch up on. I am a solo parent, so my husband works away at sea. He works on a cruise ship for 6 months out of the year, so it is just me and my baby here, so I don't have too much time to get things done, which is why I'm a little bit behind on these videos. So if you like these types of videos, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. That way I can make more of these videos all about baby life and what products I love. This is a new territory for me, so I do make more videos about perfectionism, self-love, but I am starting to go through this period for the first time, and I just wanted to share all the things I'm learning and all the things that I'm purchasing that I love. Alright, so it's going to be structured a little bit similarly to the first video that I made, which is a 0 to 3 month video, which I've already made and I'll link below, as well as put it in the cards. But I'm going to start with the category of sleep. I have my phone here. My baby is sleeping right now, napping, so he might wake up. So I'm trying to get through this video as fast as I can. Okay, the first thing in sleep that we really love is the sleep sacks. So we quickly moved him from swaddling when he had his arms put out. So we were like, okay, we need something else other than a swaddle. So we got the it's like Guanamana. Anyway, I'll link it below as well as put a picture of it here. They're so comfortable and they're a little bit thicker. So for the really hot summer days, you probably don't want this, or just like have them in a diaper and then the sleep sack and that's it. Which we do sometimes, but it's so cozy and it zips all these different ways. It makes diaper changing super easy. Next thing I want to talk about, I did bring with me. This is the Happy Sleeper book. I cannot say enough about this book. I have recommended it to all of my mom friends. It is just such a great guide for babies all the way from the newborn stage all the way up until I think like 5 years old. And what sort of sleep training and sleep guidelines, routines, suggestions, all sorts of conversations in here. And it just made me feel so comfortable when there were regressions happening and things happening with sleep. Sleep is such a sensitive subject for parents, and we don't get enough of it, and it's really, really difficult thing to handle with a newborn. So this book was incredibly helpful for me. I tried a lot of the methods that he recommended in here, and Heather, that she recommended in here, and I can't say enough about this book. I recommend it to everybody, and if you're having trouble sleeping with your baby, please get this book and read through it. There's parts about weaning, night feedings, there's parts about self-soothing, there's parts about co-sleeping, there's parts about just everything. So get the book if you're struggling. It helped me so much. The next thing in the 3 to 6 month phase, because we moved him from the bassinet to his crib, we love this crib. It's a convertible crib, so he can move into it into his toddler stage, which is why we got it. It's the Baby Leto crib. It's white, it's stunning. So we love it. We've recently dropped it down because he's so big now, the mattress. And the mattress that we have was separate. It was the Newton mattress. Did a lot of research with mattresses. This one was the safest and the cleanest. It's made with recycled, I forgot what the material is, but it's completely breathable, which is why I love it. They can stick their face flat into the mattress, breathe, and they can still breathe through it. There's lots of like open holes. I think it's made out of recycled BPA free plastic, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but it's like the inside is not squishy, it's not coils, it's more like a fibrous, soft, squishy fabric or plastic. Anyway, you can breathe through it, which is why it's so safe, and it prevents SIDS. So they have great reviews, this Newton mattress, and we've had nothing but great sleep from him. So, and obviously he hasn't struggled with his sleep. He sleeps on his belly every single night, and we were not nervous at all because we had this mattress. So the Baby Lato crib and the Newton mattress have been such a great transitional product from the bassinet. We had a snoo straight into this mattress. He was fine. He had no trouble sleeping. So in the crib and on the mattress, we have some sheets. We had a Burt's Bee sheets, but the ones that we love the most were the Little Unicorn brand. We have little cactuses on it, but it's a muslin fabric. We got the crib sheet and we got the blanket that matches it. They are so beautifully made and just so comfortable, and I hate like taking off that crib mattress when it gets dirty because it's just so comfortable for him and breathable and light. And the blanket, we just love laying out on the floor for him or wrapping him up on a cold day, especially when I was nursing him. That was such a beautiful, beautiful blanket to have. So love the Little Unicorn brand. If you can afford it, they are just a beautiful brand. Two more things with sleep. We got a mobile. We didn't think we were going to get a mobile, but I was like, I kind of want to get something for him to look at. And we love it when we're just starting to go down for our naps, or when we're just starting to go down. I'll zip him up in his sleep sack and I'll turn the little mobile and he'll look at it. We got it from Etsy. It's made from felt. It has a little moon with a fox on it, and it's handmade, and I just love buying products from Etsy for that purpose. Just so specific, so beautiful, and it's not like he's gonna rip it up or anything. He can't reach it yet. He can't reach it yet. But we really, really love it, and it goes with the aesthetic of the room, and it's not too bright or intrusive. It's just a beautiful addition to the crib. And the last thing that we got was an audio monitor. 1 second, I'll check the brand. Okay, my husband just got the VTech brand, super, super cheap, but it has been life-changing because the camera, when we switched him to his own room, which we did around 5 months old, we were a nervous wreck, and we didn't have access to seeing him, so we didn't want to look at our phones the whole time. So we ended up getting an audio monitor, and this cheap one has been great. We just keep it on all night, and then if we hear him doing something weird, then we'll turn on our phones and look at the camera. But it's been just such a relief to just keep it on during the day, and I can hear him napping. I don't have it on right now because it's going to interrupt the video, but I usually have it on when I'm working in my room or doing laundry or whatever. So it's just nice not to have a physical camera on all the time because it just drains my battery, and I don't have to carry around something with me all the time, like a separate monitor. So that's been really great. Cheap, affordable option, but super, super helpful. Okay, the kitty has arrived in the room, of course. My next category is going to be feeding. So we had an interesting breastfeeding journey. Not too interesting, but definitely not what I had expected. So I will make a whole video about my breastfeeding journey later on, but we were starting to wean him a little bit at that stage. Around 5 months, we were kind of incorporating more formula into his diet, and then I was kind of weaning off of breastfeeding. So we had to incorporate more bottles because more people were going to be feeding him for the holidays. People were in town. So we have the Philips Advent glass bottles. Beautiful, beautiful. I feel very comfortable and safe using them. They're a little bit heavier, but honestly not too much heavier. So I really love that they're sturdy, that they clean up really easily. They don't have much residue on them. Like plastic just weirds me out. So we went with the glass ones, and we love them. We also went with the the Philips Advent. I keep saying Advent. I think it's Avent bottle warmer. So we have the bottle warmer as well, and it's really nice for around this time when he's been asleep for an hour and a half, which he usually sleeps for 2-hour chunks. We would just take the bottle, put it in the warmer, and just let it sit and warm up on its own ahead of time, and then it was ready to go. So we didn't do that until about like the end of that 6-month period, but it was a really, really nice, handy thing when I was taking out breast milk from the freezer and putting it in the bottles and then putting the warmer on. So I just felt like I was comfortable with where it was getting and the temperature that it was getting to, and I didn't have to guess that it was getting to the right temperature. So it just warmed it up just enough, and you put in the ounces that you have in the bottle and you go from there. So loved those two things. Around 6 months, we started to incorporate some solids, and this is a really also controversial subject too, about like when to start purees and when to start solids. And a lot of people were like, oh, he's not sleeping in the night, maybe you should start baby purees or baby oatmeal, or things like that. So we had a lot of suggestions on what we should do. He was going through a regression, and we were going through an interesting breastfeeding / formula journey. So we held off on a lot of those solids, and I really, really, really wanted to start with baby-led weaning as his first experience, as opposed to just spoon feeding him, which is really not what I wanted to do. I wanted to teach him independence, which is a huge thing for Montessori style parenting. You're teaching them to go from dependence to collaboration with you into independence. So a big part of that is self-feeding. So I wanted to do that as soon as I could. So 6 months, he got some teeth, big teeth. So he was teething a lot, and I'll go through some of the teething products that we loved, but we wanted to start with baby-led weaning as our first food experience. So there are a few books that I read. This one, not as much, because they do go into purees in the beginning. So it says What to Feed Your Baby and Toddler by Nicole Avena, month-to-month guide. This is really nice if you don't want to start with like the actual solid food and you want to start really, really slow, but make it really wholesome and healthy. So I recommend this. I love it. The two baby-led weaning books that I got were the Essential Guide, the Baby-Led Weaning Essential Guide, which was recommended from the Hapa Family YouTube channel, which I'll put down below. She has great, great resources for baby-led weaning, so I definitely recommend her. The other one was the I think Nicole Health Nut Nutrition, which I've talked about before. She also had her baby on baby-led weaning and purees. So that's another person that I would go to for that information. But I would go for the book first to get a very thorough look of baby-led weaning when you start. And then obviously I got the baby-led weaning cookbook, as you do. Haven't really touched on this much, but I will start looking through it to see if I can make any of these recipes for him, because he's eating so much more now into his later baby years. So the formula that we went with, I wanted to make sure that it was as healthy as possible, and I know it's not perfect. Breast milk is the #1 choice when it comes to feeding your baby, and everybody has their own journey, and there's so much shame behind breastfeeding, and I'll do a whole nother video on this, but we wanted to go with the healthiest version of formula that we could find. We have two that we go between now, but in the beginning we used the Happy Organics formula. I found that that was the cleanest that I could find in the store, and he seemed to really like it once he was accustomed to the taste. So we finished that and continue to buy it now. They have a sensitive tummy version too, which I highly recommend if your baby has a lot of gas. Last thing for feeding, when I was nursing him, there was a lot of nursing covers out there, but this one I saw at the ENT when we went to get his tongue tie snipped. Didn't know if I mentioned that before, but this nursing cover actually has a bendy wire here, so it creates like a gap. You put it around your neck and it creates a gap here, so you can see them, and the blanket isn't like going on their face. So I really love this thing, and I found that I could really just drape it any way and I could see him and the blanket wasn't like stuck to his face. I hate that. And all the nursing covers that I have seen out there are like a beautiful cocoon. They look very stylish, but unfortunately they're not very just not very functional for your baby and feeding, and you know, it could get in their mouth, and you know, whatever. So I really love this one with the bendy wire. So if you can find them, they're on Amazon, but I found this at a secondhand shop because I love the print. But yeah, you can find them really anywhere, and I recommend it just to not have the fabric in their face. And you can see them the whole time, which is nice, but no one else can see, which is also nice. Okay, we are getting through this. The last video, he was in it most of the time, and he was so fussy, and I had to feed him, so this is a much better video. Okay, so changing, we have the Honest Company diapers. So we started to incorporate more of the cloth diapers more frequently when he was around 3 months. So we continued that, but when we were out, we wanted some more diapers that were disposable. So we ended up using the Honest Company diapers. I really, really love them. They have the cutest little prints. And we had zero problems with him having diaper rash. So can't say enough about those diapers, and we continue to use them today, just obviously a different size. So with our cloth diapering journey, these are the Nora's Nursery. We don't have any other brand except this brand, and we've had great experience with them, great customer service. They have a lot of tips for how to wash your diapers too on their website. It comes with a liner inside, but he started to leak because, you know, bigger baby, more food, and then more pee. So we started to get these little charcoal bamboo by Alba Baby liners. So we would just double up the liners at night, just stick them both in, and that seemed to really help with those overnight leaking through, getting himself soaked nights. So we love these little bamboo things. We use them all the time now even. I double them up, or I fold the front one because boys, you know, need more coverage in the front, and put that one towards the front of the diaper. But yeah, we just double them up. Super easy at night, and then we don't double them up during the day. We just use the one. So love this. Along with cleaning cloth diapers, when he started solids, he did start having some very interesting poops. So there were like little chunks of food in it, and obviously you can't just chuck them in the pail and then, you know, do a rinse cycle with them. It would just get disgusting. So what I would do is I would take the liner out, and we got this product called Spray Pal. So it's basically a bidet that attaches to your toilet, and it's like a little plastic shell that's can snap together into a circular thing with like a clipboard clip at the top. So you just clip your, and I'll show a picture of it here. You clip your diaper onto the back of it, and it's completely encapsulated in the shell, and then you take the bidet and you spray it off into the toilet. So it goes straight into the toilet, doesn't get any mess anywhere, and we really love it because it gets them nice and clean before they go in the wash. So we found that extremely helpful, and it's just a seamless, easy, simple product that just really does the job, and very effectively. And the last thing that I'll say about the changing and diapering part of this video is we found that he was leaking through some clothes, and we couldn't get poop out of his clothes. So I found a lot of recipes online to get them out, but I found one to be the most effective out of his clothes. So you would take some soap. We had Castille soap just because it was fragrance free and it was safe. We'd put that on the stain in the sink, and then we'd put some hydrogen peroxide on top, and I would take an old toothbrush and I would just scrub it in, let that sit for at least 20 minutes, and then wash it with the rest of the clothes, and it came out incredibly well. So we continued to use that. I thought I'd share that tip because people are always looking for those types of things, and I certainly was, because I was like, if he poops through everything, you know, this yellow stuff isn't going to come out of anything. So that recipe really worked for us, and it's super easy, and hydrogen peroxide is so cheap. So hopefully you can use that and it'll work for you. Okay, 3 things under the self-care section. The first one is his little Frida baby toothbrush. I'll show a picture of it here. You just stick it on your finger. It's all like BPA free, food grade silicone, and it has a double brush, one on the top, one on the bottom, and you just do and we would make it a game in the morning. We go to my own teeth, and then we'd do it to his, because he got teeth super early. Not super early, but like pretty early, around 6 months. So I was even doing it to his gums before he even had teeth, just as a way to get him used to me putting something in his mouth and brushing his teeth, because a lot of kids say fight that when they get a little bit older. So I wanted him to get used to brushing his teeth. So we love that little finger one that I could do. Obviously wouldn't give it to him at all, but I'd do it really quickly and then I'd wash it off and put it away. So it was a super easy thing to add into our morning routine. Another thing with our morning routine that we do is our probiotics. So the one by, I never know how to say this name, it's like G-A-I-A, Gua, or Gua, I'm not even going to attempt it. Anyway, this one has vitamin D in it as well. So we did just 5 drops of this in his mouth, and he got so used to doing it, he would be like, ah, and just take it. I didn't have to put it on my boob anymore. Honestly, that was really messy, so I stopped doing that anyway, and we just started to put it either on a spoon when he got used to using the spoon. I would even give him the spoon sometimes, and then after that, he just took it straight from the dropper. So he just got used to it. And I don't like the powders or anything like that. The droppers are perfectly fine, even today. And the last thing was the Burt's Bees towels. He's grown out of those, but we loved them in the beginning, especially in this period of 3 to 6 months. We could just wrap him up and put the hood on and show him in the mirror, and he just loved looking at himself with those little towels. And they're not too bulky, so they were perfect for that size. And I just love the brand. It's 100% cotton, super soft. And they were very gender neutral prints, so we love that too. Okay, so the next thing I have is teething. So because he teethed a little bit earlier than expected, we had quite a few products in the teething category. A couple of products I'll just like quickly list off, and I'll put some pictures of them here. I was gonna grab them from his room when he was awake, but I was like, nah. I'll just show pictures of them. I have one, but these are the ones that he loved the most. So Sophie, that little giraffe, everybody loves that thing. I think it's the soft rubber. I really don't know what kids love about it, but I'm assuming it's the soft rubber. Maybe the smell, maybe the cuteness of the giraffe, I'm not sure, but he loves it. And RIP, we can't find her, so I don't know where she went. But he loved her around this time, 3 to 6 months, loved to munch on her face, just held onto her legs and just went for it. So he loved that one. This little raspberry teether he loves as well. He even chews on this now. It's like nubbin, it's like a little nubby on the end, and you can kind of like, they can hold it like this. So this was really, really nice. He loved this one. Another one that he loved was the hand teether. This was highly recommended on Amazon. It looks like a tiny, tiny little hand, has all different colors and all different little textures on each one, and it has an open circle so you can hold it in their little hand. And I'll put a picture of it here, but he loved that one, 3 to 6 months. Loved it. Munched on that one for hours. Another one was the Munch Mitt. He didn't like this one too much just because it was kind of weird on his hand, but you stick it over the hand and you Velcro it on. He had a couple of those. He liked them around, I guess, 5 months ish, but it wasn't his favorite, I would say. But I loved that he couldn't drop it. Like, I didn't have to go get it. I could just stick it on his hand and he would be happy while I did whatever I needed to, like brush my teeth or something. So those were really helpful. And the 2 products that I would say were great for teething was the camellia medicine. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video because he wasn't really using it then, but they're little thin strips with liquid in them. They're a homeopathic recipe. Or ingredient, I mean, what did I just say? Whatever. It's homeopathic, and you just take off the top, and again, you pour it in their mouth. And he was just so used to doing that with the probiotics that when he was fussy or when he was not sleeping well, we would just give him one of those, and he would calm down right away. It was highly recommended by a lot of other YouTubers and people that I had watched, so I tried it out and it worked. So we still have a bunch of those for when his other teeth come in. Oh Lord, just in case. And the last thing I have for teething were bibs. He was just waterfalling everywhere, and they say that happens. He was also blowing raspberries, so like that didn't help either. But we got these little bandana, the ones that come to a point bibs, smaller. I hated the ones that went like this, and all the other ones that were too tight just got fabric in his face constantly. So I was really looking for something that was simple, that laid a little more flat, and in some colors that could match. I didn't like a lot of prints, so I'll link the one that I got from Amazon below, but it's like navy blue, gray, black, white, just neutral colors, and we still wear them out sometimes, but they don't get in the way. They lay flat. They're not too thick either, so, and they hold up really nicely when you just throw them in the wash. So I've had nothing but good things with these bibs, so I would highly recommend them. Okay, and we are moving right along. We're gonna go into the toys and activities section. So he loves his activity center. It's super popular right now. It's like one of the top toys that you can get for like a baby that's standing. They say it's not great to have them in it for long periods of time just because of the pressure on the hips. So we go in for like 10-15 minutes and then we get him out, and then we, you know, maybe do it again at the end of the day. So we're not like sitting them in it for hours or anything like that, but just for a few minutes. And he started to get really into all the little toys and starting to move everything. And I'll show a picture of it here. It's by, I think it's by Skip Hop. Yeah, I think it's by Skip Hop. But we love it. We love it even today. And you can drop down the height as they get older of the bottom footrest. You can also take the footrest off and the little insert and create a table. So when they start cruising, they can use it as a table. And then you can take all the toys off and use it as a regular table and buy chairs later on. So it's something that can really grow with your baby, which I really, really love too. Just some random ones. We love going to the library. He loves, loves, loves books. And we started reading books quite young, even before he like really couldn't have his attention span for very long. I would read through it quickly or show him some pictures and just animate as much as possible. That's the beauty of being an actor, is you have lots of different voices and animations involved. But we love going to the library. We get books all the time, and he has tons in rotation. So some of our favorites around this time were The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Jungle Night, which was very fun for like little sounds and noises. We'd read that every night for bed. And then we got one for my husband's Scottish culture. We got him some books for Christmas around like the Scottish alphabet, where it's like every letter is a Scottish thing in their culture. And then one about Scottish animals. So he loves the Scottish animals one. Super cute with like the Highland cows and Nessie at the end. We love it. Speaking of other books, we have little bath books. I'll get these. So he loves these. I just got these from Target. We got them for Christmas, and this one's all about colors, and he loves this one. And this one is all about numbers. And this is from the brand Land of Bee. So just at Target, super simple, but we wanted him to enjoy bath time, and he really enjoys these. And the last thing around like books and reading, we got him a family album book. So for Christmas, we printed off all these pictures of all his family, including ourselves and him, and put them inside of all the slots. And there's little labels, and you can just flip through and say, Mama, this is Dada, this is Grandpa, you know, all the things. We love that little book because we, you know, my husband's family is across the pond in the UK, so we're able to flip through those pages and show him pictures of his family, just so he can see them regularly. Hi! Someone came to join us for our video. Right, Ollie? As you can see, he is much bigger than 3 to 6 months. He's just about to turn 9 months. Yes. And he's playing with the little raspberry thing. All right, let's finish since he woke up from his nap. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Love Every subscription. I mentioned it in my last video. It is just so great. You get it every 2 months, and there's a whole guide of how to use all of the toys. And all of them are sustainably made and just Montessori based, which is what I love and what we're trying to do at home. And we love getting, you see the pictures? Is that you? And we just love getting new toys every 2 months that he can explore. And you honestly don't need to buy any other toys except for this subscription box. It's just enough for them, and they get incredible engagement from each one. He's still playing with some stuff from his earlier boxes, and he's finding new ways to play with them. So why buy anything else when you can just revisit old toys and, you know, learn something new from them? So he loves the subscription box, and we get our new one on Friday. Some other things that we love are our music class. We go to a music class a couple times a week, and it's just to engage with other babies and learn sounds and movement and rhythm and play some instruments. It's just such a fun thing. So if there's anything close to you like that, or even like a baby gymnastics class or baby swimming, all of that is so great for your baby, to just get them involved in using their bodies in different ways and learning from different people and learning from different babies. So it's been such a great addition to like our weekly activities. Along with music, we were obsessed with Frozen 2. Then during 3 to 6 months, we were obsessed with Cocomelon. We found Cocomelon, and we just tell Alexa to play it all the time. And it's so fun. They have the best like renditions, Christmas time renditions of old nursery rhyme favorites. They have old nursery rhyme favorites and things that I used to sing that I can sing with him, like Wheels on the Bus, which we love. So it's been such a fun way to sing with him and listen to new songs. Just anywhere, around the house, in the car, on a walk. He loves it. The last two things under activities and toys are his bouncer. We got it from Target, super cheap. We just wanted to get him something to like bounce and move his legs. You can put it just the same like in a door frame, any door frame, and he just loves to bounce. We sit the mirror right in front of him, or we put him in it while I'm cooking or doing laundry. We blew bubbles while he was in it. So such a fun way for him to like bounce up and down and get strength in his legs while also like watching me jump in front of him, just using his body in different ways. We love the bouncer, but again, just like the activity center, we don't keep him in it very long just because it's not very great for the hips. And the final thing is super basic, but we just got a $5 Target mirror and laid it on the floor long ways for him to see himself while he was rolling around on the floor, because he was starting to roll at that point. So it was a great way for him to just engage and look at himself. He really loved to look at himself at that age and just explore his own body in the mirror. So getting just a cheap mirror like that to just stick on the floor is so great. They'll be looking at themselves for hours and they'll be entertained. All right, 2 more categories. The second to last one is clothes. So I didn't mention clothes in my last video because we have been getting clothes at secondhand shops. It is so much cheaper, incredibly cheap. I got about 17 items yesterday from Kid to Kid, and there's also one called Once Upon a Child here for $60. So that's about 3 items at a regular store. Or maybe even 2. So it's such a great cost-effective way to get clothes that they're just gonna dirty up anyway. Anyway, so we're shopping there and getting tons of clothes, including the one he's wearing right now, and everything that else we need, like just white onesies we get off Amazon. But I'm really not worried about what he's wearing. We can find stuff that's just as cute there. I try to get very gender neutral, like very classic colors and prints that he can wear and maybe another baby can wear eventually. We loved these 12-pack of socks. Some of them have grippies and some of them don't. I'll put the link below and also a picture of them here. We just found them to be so helpful. They don't come off at all. Our other ones that we had, I forgot what brand they were from, but they were like the really soft and plush ones. They fell off all the time. So these socks were much, much better. And the grippies, he's still fitting in them now. We'll probably have to upgrade soon. But yeah, we love buying those socks. And the other ones were just crap. So, and they're all different colors, all different prints. You see pictures? Yeah. And all the, like, I don't know why socks are just chronically, you know, meant to be pulled off, but these are really hard to pull off, but they don't like create an indentation on his leg as much, so that's good. But yeah, socks. Yeah. Another brand that we loved was Zatanno. It was a well-known brand. I saw them for the first time on Baby List, I think. And we got the gray set of, there's little booties. And let me see if I can grab the booties. These are the little booties. So we would wear them all the time in the winter time. Yeah, you love them. There's a hat and some gloves that go along with it too. So, and we kept them gender neutral again, so we could reuse them. And they're just a great addition to not having to wear like shoes in the winter time, but like they would be the equivalent of like my Uggs. Like I would just throw on my Uggs if I had cold feet. And they were perfect. You're bouncing so much today. Mwah. And the last thing I'll say about clothes is we did not go for like the really nice formal stuff. For us it was more just like the onesies, the soft pants, and that's really it. The shirts, like the t-shirts, we didn't really go for because it would get in the way when he was trying to move on the floor, and they would come up whenever I would pick him up, and then his like belly was exposed. So that wasn't my favorite. And also like the soft pants were just really comfortable for him moving on the floor, and that's what's important at that age. So we kept it really basic, onesies and soft pants for clothes, and that's it. The last category is the on-the-go category, which we had last video. I mentioned like things like my stroller and my car seat. So if you want to know more of those types of big items, go back to the 0 to 3 month video, because we're still using those, and I love them still. One of the things I wanted to mention that went on my stroller, there's 3 things. We found that the cup holder for the Mockingbird stroller was not that great, so we ended up upgrading. I'll link it below, but it fits our like big cups. Like if you have a Yeti or something like this, it'll fit that because it's so big. You like mommy's cup. We also love the phone holder that we got. It just sits right up on the bar and showcases the phone right in the middle, and it stays on really, really well. So we love that too. We use it all the time. And then we also got a fan too, which I don't think I mentioned in the last video, but we used it when it was really hot still, like in October, sometimes in November too. Oh yeah, and we used it for Florida when we went there in February just recently. So it was very, very helpful. But you do have to charge it. That's the only thing. You charge it and it can last for a very, very long time. Look. And the final product in this video I want to mention is the Ergo Baby cover. So I mentioned the Ergo Baby carrier last video. This is like an all-weather cover. It's water resistant and fleece lined. So we used it every single day when we would go on our walks, and it kept him nice and warm and toasty. It had a hood, could cover up the sun and any of the wind, and we loved it. So we still use the Ergo Baby quite regularly. He's now facing forward, and I think we're gonna try facing back soon. That'll be fun. All right, so the very last part of this video are just a couple of things, 3 things that I really didn't like or found kind of annoying during this period. So the first one was we were using Alexa, don't talk, for our brown noise, like for his sleeping. And we found that if the Wi-Fi cut out or the loop of the brown noise finished, he would wake up. So if anything stopped that we were playing for his room, for sleeping, would stop, he would wake up. So we ended up moving, which I'll talk about it in my next video for the 6 to 9 months. We moved to a sound machine, but we found that that was not working for us. So we had to move on from that. You are just so silly. Ooh, badoo, badoo. Another thing that we didn't like along with technology was the Owlette camera. We love it sometimes. We love it when it works. We think it's super handy. But the Wi-Fi and the connectivity, we had so many issues at this time. And it was really unfortunate, especially when we were just moving him to another room. That was not great because we found that we needed to see him, like way more than we needed to see him when he was in our own room. So that was really frustrating. So that's one thing that I will say about the Owlette camera. We do love it when it works, but it was working probably like a third, I guess like half the time. And the other half, it would say, isn't connected, and we'd have to reconnect our modem or split our Wi-Fi. It was just a nightmare around that time. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting that one, just know, like, if your camera is, or if your Wi-Fi is really dodgy, I would probably not get this camera. And the last thing we got, which was around winter time, we got the warm weather cover for Mockingbird stroller. It was really toasty, like really well made, but it just seemed like it was so huge, so excessive. I kind of wish there was something that went over the entire stroller, warm weather wise, not just like a zippable blanket, because it got like in his face. It was like a lot of fabric in his face most of the time, and we just didn't even use it. We basically just wrapped him in a blanket because it wasn't as bulky, and went from there. I'm sure a lot of people love it, and we will when he's bigger probably, but yeah, we didn't use it as much during the winter time just because of its bulkiness. But other than that, we didn't really find a lot of our 3 to 6 month products super annoying, except for those 3 things. So all right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Say bye, Ollie. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of these videos, or you want to see the 6 to 9 month video all about what we loved in that time, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when that's coming out. And I am going to continue to solo parent this little muffin during today. Oh, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.